Hello, fringers. The following podcast may not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to what will actually be the final thing for Chaos Incorporated. We were originally going to do a kind of a denouement episode, but last week we were having a cast chat, and the consensus was kind of where Chaos Inc. ended was a great place for it to end. Not only for Season 3. I got that right? We're in Season 3, right?
Yeah. That was Season 3,
That was Season 3.
Past tense.
Not only for Season 3, but Chaos Inc. in general is done. It's over.
We're done. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining the stream tonight. Hope you had fun.
We're gonna
See,
be
there was
here
no
for a little
quote.
while.
That's the show's over. No
if y'all
quote.
want to throw some gifted subs or bits at our cast here, we've got some stuff. Order has been restored to chaos. I don't know if I would go that far, Obocop. No. Okay.
No, Christopher.
Dot is shaking her head no, that we still have chaos. I am once again here with our wonderful cast. We're going to start with our in memoriam. No, Michael is not actually dead. Michael is alive with a beanie on his head.
This is his
Maxi
ghost.
Maxi is dead. Michael, welcome in. There we go.
We've interrupted Michael in the middle of breaking into somebody's home, apparently.
What have you...
Oh, golly.
Which
Moses.
actually reminds me of a very funny story from my last job that I will impart at some other point with breaking into places. Next up, also in full-on hoodie mode, is Dot.
Represent.
We got the Minnesota hoodie.
That's right.
Oh, whoa. Hey, thank you for the gifted subs, Necrotier. We really appreciate that. Maxi is a Sith Lord. Thank you for the gifted subs. We really appreciate that. That helps us.
Can I
support
be
the
your
show.
apprentice, Michael, please?
I guess Michael's apprentice. Our next one up, Caleb, also in full hoodie mode.
It's very cold where I am right now. It's so cold.
I think it's cold everywhere in the country.
I feel oppressed and that I am the coldest.
Okay. For those that don't know, just generally speaking, Mallow and I are on the West Coast, and the rest of our cast is generally in the Midwest-ish area, although I saw a big argument about what the Midwest was yesterday on the internets, like what counts.
We're all in the Midwest.
We're all in the
counts?
Midwest. It's single digits with 50-mile-an-hour wind, so...
Okay.
Shit's cold.
See, it's been cold here too, and I am a coastal person, and we don't get this cold. Take that
cold
shit back
for
to the
you
Midwest.
is cold for you is nothing. You shush.
No, exactly. Which is why when it's been in the single digits, we've been like, what the fuck is this nonsense? Okay.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
We don't do this.
Okay.
Hey, Michigan, take your weather back. It's
got
drunk,
it
it got
Screw
lost,
you.
it wandered over here.
We didn't lend it out. It's still here.
It's just gained a few pounds.
Like they traded.
Girl, same.
Okay. And finally, let's do our last but not least, Kaylee, who actually has a quote prepared for tonight.
Well, now
It's
I'm on
good.
the
I
spot.
like it.
I got to try and remember what it is. I just lost an earring. So I tried being funny, and I've now paid the price by losing one of my favorite earrings. I have a final quote for Chaos Incorporated, and it is from my favorite book. I think it's very poignant and meaningful in these troubling times of strife. This page intentionally left blank.
Hit you right here. Right here.
Caleb, that's indigestion, actually.
Much like the last episode of Chaos Inc., which hit you right here. We ended
Boy,
in
did it ever.
we ended in some strife. Obviously, we know Michael died, and I
No, we
thought
didn't. No, we
Max-
didn't.
or
Michael did not
Maxi died.
Oh my God, is Michael a ghost? Is that why he's in black? He's mourning himself?
Michael's a force ghost now.
That's just the only. That's the not the only thing I've done to myself today.
Ba-doom.
Whoa. All right, we're back to Horny on Main. Here we go. By the way, never mind.
So I kind of want to start there with I thought everyone's reactions were measured and reasonable to the death of Maxi. Dot, you're shaking your head like you want to yell at me.
Listen, I was prepared for it to happen. I wasn't prepared for it to happen in the second round of combat.
To be fair, neither was I.
I did genuinely love that your reaction when Maxi killed Kelly Aguilar.
Those rolls were so good.
Just destroyed her, right? I loved the GM pause that was like, "Ah, fuck, my big bad is gone. Damn it."
Like we spent 3 years on this. We should have just given Maxi a fucking railgun and let him go.
Or ideally, Maxi would have pulled the trigger in episode 2, and this would have been no big deal.
I can't talk ill about the dead, so
I can.
So
That's me.
the problem is that
it's you.
So for some behind the scenes, right? Oftentimes for big key moments. So, for example, when Chone was captured in season 2, Kaylee knew that was going to happen ahead of time, right? We do that for a couple of reasons. One, there's certain things with character beats that we always like to get the player's permission ahead of time, right? And two, sometimes it's important to have certain elements like just plot beats done. And so we knew Maxi was not long for this world, but we also don't script everything. And so we were playing it out in the actual combat, and then Michael rolled those insane rolls, and I was like, well, everyone's out of position for where I thought they were going to be in that moment. Whoopsie doodle.
But luckily, there's one person standing right in front of the thing that's going to blow up.
Poor fella.
Technically, there were 2 of us. I cheated.
Technically, there were 3 of you. I was the only one that wasn't, like, actively there because I was falling out of the sky.
That is true.
That's true.
Also, it's something that happened in the first round of combat, right?
Second.
Stitches has amazing piece of hardware to bring into the fight, and then by the second round of combat, piece of hardware is ruined falling from the sky.
So I've actually
Checked
got
herself and wrecked herself.
I've got the combat tracker that is my personal the one that I've designed for Identico, and I actually have the one that I saved at the end of the last session. And yes, it was 3/4 of the way through the second round of combat. And that was it. That was all she wrote.
I'm so mad about that too because I was so hype to have this shiny new toy. And you know what? This is on par for Stitches. She gets an aerial vehicle.
You get a shiny toy.
Yeah, and then fucking crashes it almost immediately.
Now, to be fair, she didn't crash. She was shot down after first round of combat, Stitches shot down 2 aircraft. Right? Smoked them. Literally, vaporized them.
Stitches is really good at what she does until she's fucking not.
It's kind of like Zed's arms.
Yeah.
Are we buying all of her stuff at the same mall that Zed got his arms?
I feel like the problem with Zed's robot arms has to do with more with the mechanics than the execution. And I don't know who made those mechanics.
Because
we'll get you mechanics.
We've seen them work properly, right? And
Zed's arms are what happened when you get drunk on an intercontinental flight and order arms from Sky Mall.
I miss Sky Mall.
It was 2 for 1.
I miss Sky Mall.
It was a good deal.
You know what? Mallow, can we find out if the trademark for Sky Mall is still owned or if we can get the trademark? I would love to bring Sky Mall back in Identico. Can we please?
How about you could just rename it Soul Mall.
Soul Mall.
We gotta do something. We gotta make
Soul
sure
Mall.
everybody knows that it's Sky Mall. God, I love Sky Mall. Anyway, so Stitches again had vaporized some people. Chone was doing all kinds of stuff. Zed's robot arms
I
were
like how you
kind of
don't remember
working.
anything, so it's now just stuff.
Stuff.
Well, you were doing Chone special powers.
Sure,
Not magic. Not magic.
Chone tried to go back in time, but didn't know
That was
how.
later.
We can jump
Fair.
around.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, jump around.
Jump around.
So yes, let's talk about everybody's reaction to the death of Maxi. Stitches, initially state of shock, but
State of shock.
I think less
Then
a state
anger.
of shock, more a state of anger and hurt, and just more emotional trauma than she was anticipating.
He lost 2 toys that day.
Kaylee May.
Boom, boom, boom.
that's pretty funny. For those that don't know, there had been some hanky panky between Maxi and Stitches.
I'm really glad you
episode.
got our names right that time.
I'm working on it. Brain not work sometimes.
Okay.
Yes, between Maxi and Stitches, there was stuff, right?
Well, you say hanky panky. I would say relationship.
Yeah.
Boinky woinky.
No,
Let's talk about that, because that really
Yeah.
developed over the course of this season.
Yeah, agreed. I think that from Stitch's perspective, she saw a likeness in Maxi in her own mentality, and I think that there was just more of an emotional attraction to start, because he kind of got her in a way that she wasn't expecting coming into a new team. I mean, coming into a new team, like obviously season 3, she had been with the group for a little bit, but it's still like.
Well, I mean, that relationship started in season 2 to
did.
an extent.
But I
It
feel
did.
like in season 2, it was more like one of those like in the heat of the moment,
Sure.
battle kind of things. Whereas in season 3, it developed more into the actual relationship.
Yeah. I think the fight that happened between the two of them after Stitches gets rescued from Frankie, I think that was kind of a pivotal moment in establishing where they actually were in their relationship. At least,
Well, and there was a fight at the beginning of the season also. There was a reunion, but then also almost immediately a conflict when Maxi met up with Stitches at the bar. I think it was late in the first episode.
I don't know that it was. I don't think that was so much a fight as it was just. I think she was in over her head, honestly, because she'd just gotten back from Providence and had this is her first official job with Providence, and then for all intents and purposes, her boyfriend, who was also with this secret organization, shows up. So I think in her head, she was like, fuck me, is somebody already checking on me? Like, I haven't even screwed anything up yet.
Fair.
Fair.
Maybe not a fight.
No,
Maybe
I think
not a
it,
fight.
and I think that there was also a certain level of excitement associated with those feelings too, because she was like, okay, well, I mean, at least I have somebody to back me up.
Mm-hmm. And from Maxi's perspective, this relationship caught him by surprise as well. Coming off the season 1, going into season 2, viewers got and the people around the table, the players here, kind of got a view of relaxed Maxi, like old Maxi, original Maxi, OG Maxi, like before he became very structured and strict and businesslike. The kind of party animal that he used to be when he was with Interpol.
So I want to pivot off the relaxed Maxi to the reactions to relaxed Maxi from Caleb.
I loved Surfer Maxi.
Surfer Maxi. I think Maxi got a little too relaxed for Zed's feelings, for Zed's taste.
Yeah, I think Zed was struggling a lot in season 3. The shift of more responsibility onto his shoulders as the season progressed. He never started this show as anyone intended to be a leader or working with a team or in charge of a team. And as that evolved through the first and second season, Zed was very much defaulting to Maxi a lot of the times. Maxi had the resolve, the field training, that serious, I'm in charge, I'm going to make a decision kind of attitude. And Zed was able to play off of that and work with that very well. And when that shifted, I think it took Zed a while to figure things out, because through these seasons, so much of his worldview has been changing. So much of his personality has had to evolve. And he's constantly been having his foundation yanked out from under him. So when once again Maxi decided to shift that Jenga tower piece, Zed was really struggling. And I was really pleased as a performer, as a player, when Michael and I could have a couple of those exchanges in role play when we could really argue with each other, because I think we had a lot of fun. I think we really challenged ourselves. And I think that brought a lot to both characters. So while as a character, Zed was really struggling, I think it was very good in his development. I think it was very interesting. I think seeing Maxi go off the deep end and make some poor choices also kind of pushed Zed towards that new realization of what it takes to be a partner and a leader. So all of these seasons for Zed have just been very informative, because they very much broke him out of his little high society bubble where everything always went his way.
Somebody in the chat just said, poor choices make for better role play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's how you have a fun game, is you do the worst possible thing. That's how I play every one shot.
I'm trying to think of bad choices. And, I can't think of Chon making any bad choices. Chon was almost like the level one this season.
It's because I spent 2 seasons being the spaz. I mean, honestly. There were quite a few times when Chon wasn't quite level because they were really frustrated with Maxi, who had, up until that point, been kind of the team rock, so to speak.
And very much Chon's mentor in the ways of, fighting and becoming more of a warrior and less of the keyboard cowboy that Chon was before.
Right, and Maxi pulled Chon out of their depression and gave Chon focus when
Apex.
I kept wanting to say Steph, and that's not right. Now I'm doing it, guys. Thanks a lot. When Apex left, that was a really dark time, and that's when Maxi and Chon really became friends, because Maxi gave Chon an anchor to hold on to and helped them grow. When the team came to break Chon out of Kelly Aguilar's little, quantum prison, that was more solidification. So to see Maxi, because Chon was not there for the first couple weeks that everybody was in Vegas. So when Chon shows up and Maxi's like this drunken, what the hell happened to him, that kind of really shook their entire foundation that they just spent a year working with. So it was really hard for I mean, it was fun for me as a player, but it was hard for Chon as a person, as a character, to deal with that. And they didn't deal with it great. They quite often wanted to scream and yell at Maxi,
And frequently did.
and occasionally did. Yes, I wouldn't say frequently, but
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I'd go occasionally. And Jones seems kind of like the level one this season.
Was the level one this season.
not that's over, by the way. Yeah, because I mean, the last thing we see is Chon boarding a helicopter with Maxi's body, and who the fuck knows where? Well, I the fuck know where Chon ends up after that, because
I like that you say Maxi's body, but essentially wasn't it basically just parts of the exoskeleton and maybe some random bones?
Yes, that's still a body.
There was
There was caramel
DNA
that got burned
material
onto the
there.
pan.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Chon got on the helicopter with Maxi's DNA. Wait, that could be taken wrong too.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Sean got on the helicopter with some exoskeletal pieces covered in a wonderful human caramel.
Yuck.
Caramel's probably pretty close.
Yuck.
Because you weren't quite vaporized.
Never had pork belly?
Oh, pork belly, really?
Real crispy bacon.
Golly.
That is the
Jeez.
second time. That is the second time you have middle named somebody since we got on this cast.
Extra
chat,
crispy
Doc.
Maxi.
So,
Yeah, we didn't need the extra crispy recipe, but we got it anyway. So, yeah, and I mean,
That's where all the flavor is.
Mallow.
I was like, I'm horking now. Again, not the intention for how this season went. This one, I feel like this, and I feel like the pacing on this season was a lot faster. Y'all moved through stuff much quicker.
We did it.
You made friends and enemies much faster. Caleb's like, sure, you're an organized crime syndicate. Why not?
Add to contact list.
Yeah.
I really loved Caleb, or excuse me, Zed's interaction with the Triad boss.
That was fun.
Mr.
That was
Joe.
so great, because I did not want to engage with that NPC because I knew Stitches was just gonna be like, what the fuck's the job anyways, right? And I'm 100% happy to take a backseat to roleplay to give someone else that spotlight, and Zed was the perfect character to take that spotlight. That was beautiful roleplay. I absolutely loved everything that happened in those scenes with Mr. Joe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because as we discussed, Zed did kind of become the face of our operation. So for him to be able to play a face in that, like, be in that element, but also still kind of be manipulating the situation to what we thought fit our needs, that was beautiful.
Thank you. Fun fact, I'm sure nobody knows this or guessed this for 3 seasons. That's how I built Zed. From fucking episode 1.
Caleb, we know every single episode was about taking care of your face, so we knew. That was your moneymaker. Remember,
There has been. I would love to. At some point, we'll get some super fan who can go back and do a compilation about how many minutes were spent where Zed discussed his beauty routines.
Not that often, because at some point I think you stopped letting me get away with that.
There was definitely at least one in this season, 1 or 2.
Uh huh.
Yeah, gotta take care of that teaser.
There were probably just. There's another one. There were probably just as many of those as there were cooking montages.
There were definitely more cooking montages.
In this show as a whole, yes, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
It literally is a backdoor pilot to a food truck show that we're talking about.
That's true.
It's out there. It's in the ether. The other thing is I want to point out, and I don't think you guys even remember, right? Your cleanest heist in the entire show. Zed sets up the party. You're like, we're going to go in. We're going to get this guy's credentials. We're going to use those credentials to go to this place and steal a thing. And you know what happened? It went exactly to plan.
I wouldn't say exactly. Maxi's distraction was
to
not planned.
I'm so mad that I missed that. I'm so incredibly upset that I missed that moment.
Magic Maxi.
If you can if you can make up with Chone, they probably have video.
You owe me.
You can play that card.
I'm just saying, it was your cleanest heist ever.
And
Again,
also
going
the
back to the,
dirtiest.
like, Zed is a face. Zed sets up a giant party. Like, you know.
It's great when a plan comes together.
Thanks, Hannibal.
Wait a minute.
You didn't
what?
really. I'm saying, I think it went so smooth.
I love the misquote. That's what I love.
I think it went so smooth that y'all forgot that happened this season.
Oh no. No, you remember.
We were just focused on, I think, a different part.
A different part. Or
We were
parts.
definitely focused on a different part.
So many.
Maxi's
love-
angling participle.
I love
I
how
mean, you taught a lot of classes in pole dancing that night.
He really did.
I love how all of that played out, because I don't think we really planned any of that.
Not that portion of it.
Alex, you'd been giving us some prompts about the other operatives or teams that were in there. Mm-hmm. And I think that was, at least the way I interpret it, was like a way to kind of prompt us to move the story forward there. So I, as a player, as Zed, was trying to think of what he would do. And I had a plan that I thought was going to either work really well or really bad. And then suddenly Michael comes in with this very different plan. And here we are. It was great.
But the plan worked.
He did a distraction.
I was going to have a very different kind of distraction.
It worked.
I remember when we came up with the original idea for the plan, and it's like, it's a BDSM party. I'm like, okay, I'm here for this. This is great. I even gave Caleb carte blanche to describe the outfits for.
Yeah.
So Zed could describe I gave it to Caleb so Zed could describe the outfits that people were wearing, and it's like, okay. And honestly, the party felt a little tame until the Maxi show.
Wait,
Yeah.
now I'm curious. What would Zed have put Stitches in?
I don't even know what I did for the rest of us. It was so long ago.
Okay.
I think it would have been
Something.
something a lot like Lilu from Fifth Element, but in
Nice.
black leather.
There you go.
Let's say yes. Yeah, that would have been good.
By the way, if anybody's wondering whether Chaos Inc. is intended for younger audiences, the answer is no.
No.
A big old fuck no.
Yeah, the original plan was to have more to just use that theme of the party to pull the target off to the side and restrain him, and then get what we needed. Then things took a turn.
Be like that.
Again,
A slide, a dip.
you were
sway,
in, you were out, you got what you needed. You didn't look back.
And then we were in and out again, and then in and out again.
And then the dismount.
It's like the best one night stand ever.
Night and a half.
All right. Any other highlights from this? I'm going to go around the room. Highlights from this season. Michael?
This season, I enjoyed the interplay that we had with Frankie as a character. I think that Frankie kind of being Stitch's mark, as it were, and then also the reveal that Frankie was Maxi's ex gave us a bit of an insight into that relationship and that character a bit more, a little bit more insight into Maxi. But also there were a number of points when Dot as Stitches got to play against Frankie, and it was fun to watch that relationship start to build. I would have liked to have honestly seen more of that. I feel like there was something fun about Frankie being present and kind of I honestly And Frankie's honestly doesn't care a whit for anything that you want to do. Frankie's out for Frankie.
But there were some changes in Frankie toward the end, where Frankie finally saw, like, there is a line.
I think she sees the line, but she's also still 100% willing to cross it in the event it best serves her.
And that's what and that's what we found as revealed through the story for the season, was that, honestly, that Frankie was working for the people that honestly she thought was going to win. And when those winds shifted, Frankie's loyalties shifted, right? I also liked the interplay that we got with the IOG through Zed and his interactions with Adeline, and kind of the I don't know, I want to say corporate, maybe the bureaucracy that
the
Zed
politics
found himself having to deal with, the politics that Zed had found himself having to deal with in trying to move forward with this seemingly impossible mission. Because the target that we were after Kelly Aguilar, for all intents and purposes, was presented as someone that we likely were not going to be able to defeat.
And we hadn't defeated her.
No, I mean, at every turn, it seemed that Aguilar had gotten the drop on us, or was a few steps ahead of us, more than a few in some cases, and it really did feel like the end could have gone quite differently for everybody, not just Maxi, of course. So that was very interesting. And again, we got to see Chone really explore this side of themselves, these new abilities, these new powers, kind of come into their own as a leader of sorts, right? Being able to, Chone was stepping forward and trying to take control of things and trying to do their best to move the team forward toward their objective. Even maybe outside of what maybe some of Zed's plans were. But yeah, I mean, there were a number of highlights this season. I thought it was possibly one of our best seasons out of the three, and I'm sad to see it go, but excited for what's coming next.
Obviously, movie kind of Frankie and the close relationships that Maxi's character had. Dot, what was your kind of highlight there?
With Frankie, or just in general?
Just in general, but I'm just kind of seemed like a natural transition to go from Maxi to Stitches.
Yeah, I think one of the highlights for me was probably honestly the scene with, like, the cast conversations outside of the show on how to bring Stitches back after being kidnapped. I really liked how we initially discussed what her return to the group was going to look like, and how we ended up kind of flipping Frankie, her perception of Frankie, or Stitches' perception of Frankie, because initially going in, she understands that Frankie is her mark via Providence, and I think Stitches' impression, because she didn't really get much more in-depth information until they met with Mr. Zhou about how involved Frankie was with the benevolent AI. So I think her initial time with Frankie was more so just, okay, she's just a run-of-the-mill, like, street thief. Like, she's just working her own business, illegal as it is. Maybe why am I here? And I think that's why she started to develop more of a friendship with Frankie versus a rivalry. So then to have that perception of her completely turned on its head by discovering, oh, you're the bitch that actually kidnapped me. It was a fuck up, but you still kidnapped me. I really liked that play. I really liked how that role play went through. I really liked Maxi's reaction to all of that, as well as just how defensive the team became of Stitches, and truthfully Zed's response to all of that as well. Because I think of the core group, outside of moments here and there related to food, I don't know that Stitches and Zed really had a whole lot of crossover. There wasn't a whole lot of relationship that built between the two of them outside of just being within the same partnership. Like, we're here for each other, but we didn't really have the same level of camaraderie. So I think in Stitch's eyes, having him back her up that way was really reassuring and reaffirmed that, okay, well, this isn't just, I've got Maxi to back me up in the event there's an argument with the team. Like, I'm actually part of this team.
Sorry. Hack. And speaking of I can hear it specifically. So we're gonna move on to our good friend Caleb. Caleb, any particular highlights, lowlights? Does Zed leave season 3 richer in spirit?
Zed's pretty stressed out. I really enjoyed all of the times where Zed really had that opportunity to play to his strengths. Because I think the first 2 seasons were all about putting the character in a very unforgiving, unknown situation. And there was so much frustration and trepidation in Zed because he came from a background of always being in control and always knowing everything and being able to manipulate the situation. And he walked into this new partnership at the beginning of season 1 with Omni, this new job that it was just going to be a regular gig.
Everyone remember Omni?
Nope. Yep.
Go all the way back to season 1.
I'm surprised I remember that name. I'm so bad at these details.
That was funny.
He walked into that gig as just another gig as an outside consultant. And then it turned so quickly into something where he was out of his depth. He was put into combat situations. He was put into situations where he had zero operating knowledge and preparation. He could not play to his strengths. Coming towards the end of season 2, where he was able to get a little bit more involved with the background knowledge with the IOG and learn some more things, become a little bit more competent in combat, he started feeling more confident. And then I think that payoff in season 3, when we did get some of those social engineering, social manipulation, being able to play the face, being able to make a strategy and a tactical approach, that's where he kind of felt all of the pieces come together. He got to go back to what he was good at, but with all of this new information and knowledge and skill added to it. So all of those moments were great. I, as a player, really enjoyed when we had a lot of conflict as a group, because it really gave us a chance to kind of talk through things and find those really great role-playing moments. So those were always entertaining. Yeah, I think overall this was just a very satisfying season for Zed.
Zed came through very much changed as a character.
Yep.
And speaking of characters that changed quite a bit over the course of this show, because this isn't just a season, it's a series recap.
That was a good segue, Alex.
Thank you.
It was really good.
Thank you. Chone.
It was better than saying the word hack and going immediately to Zed. I thought that was a little harsh.
Yep.
I was going to let it go.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Chone. Chone changed a lot, Kaylee.
Yeah. Chon used to be a a keyboard junkie hiding in the basement with Twinkies and unhealthy pallor, and ended up learning how to drive. Ended up learning how to shoot a gun better.
How to slice someone's head off, which lest we not forget, you did slice someone's head off at one point.
I was getting to season 3. I hadn't even gotten out of season 1. Why are you always rushing me like that? There's a whole, learn martial arts, loved and lost, been whispered creepy love things by an insane AI. That was an unhealthy relationship. Met people from the future, discovered they had weird quantum abilities. Yeah, a lot of shit happened, Alex. I'm pretty sure I don't remember most of it.
By the way, one of the best compliments that I've received as a game runner is when Kaylee tells me how to game.
Don't say that. Don't say it to me ever again, by the way. The show's over. I never want to hear that.
But from the end of season 1, when they first really encountered the benevolent AI and how it latched onto Chone and Apex, and Kaylee was like, that is stuck with me.
You're beautiful. It still gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's crazy.
So
you did it very well.
That's one of the best comments. When people were like years later, like, oh my God, what did you do? Suffice to say, all of them came out very, very different than where we started. We also ended the show in a very different way. For those that didn't know, when I pitched this to Michael, Caleb, and Kaylee and Steph back in whatever year that was, which I'm not even going to try and guess.
12 episodes.
It was supposed to be 12 episodes.
Yes. I swear that wasn't that 2018? Was it 2019?
No, it was post-pandemic.
No, was it?
No, not at all.
I think we were in the pandemic.
We started the show pre-pandemic.
Did we?
All right, hang on. I'm going to go see.
Somebody's going to have to go look at our YouTube channel, which, by the way, if you haven't caught up with the show, you can go back there and look at the YouTube channel. There's also another cool show that's currently in production called Neon Trails. Caleb game runs that one.
I do.
Okay. So I have a note of September 2021 that Apex and Chone had a huge bit amount of drama, and that was it. So that's my earliest note about that. So
I imagine it's up here. Hang on one second.
Okay, so probably late fall of 2020 then.
Yeah, late fall or early 2021. So it's been 3.5 years.
There you go.
3 seasons, 3 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can pull up the playlist and find out when the first episode.
Oh, I got a good way to do it. I think I can figure this out pretty damn closely here.
It was uploaded.
All I got to do is go look at when I bought my webcam. It was the week before we played. June
8th, 2021 is the first YouTube video. So there you go. Yeah, it was supposed to be 12 episodes and a movie. No, I'm kidding. We obviously ran more than 12. We are now, this will be episode 51? Ish.
Okay,
Lucky we did, because we never would have met Stitches.
Yep.
It's true. I bought my webcam on March 28th, 2021. So we were talking about it, 3 years ago.
Yep.
Because Michael dragged me into this.
Yay!
Suffice it to say,
dragged me into it too.
I know, right?
I learned a lot during the production here. This has been a long production. I learned a lot both on the technical side, but also on the practical side, and it's very much informing how we want to do stuff going forward. I had one concept kind of coming into this, and while we hope it didn't show up too much on screen, I've had my face rubbed to the fact that I was like, ooh, that didn't work. That didn't work. More than a couple of times in the production of this show. Where I was like, ooh, that's not working. Gonna have to pivot here. I will say, series long, some of my favorite moments. Parkouring on the staircase, on the elevator. And staircases in, I think that was season 1? Season 2?
Season 1.
Season 1, yeah.
On the way to save Chone.
The airport gunfight.
Oh, God.
In season 2 was very fun. All of it has been a blast, and I'm very, very glad we did it. For those that are still watching, don't worry, we're not breaking this cast up. They're too vibey together. They vibe so good together. So we're not breaking them up. The new show will include all 4 members of the cast.
We should probably tell people there's going to be a new show.
There's going to be a new show. So this show is done. Chaos Inc. is over. We have a new show that has... Mallow and I have been... We were working on it back in late November, early December. I think we pitched the initial ideas. So we had 3 shows. Just to give you guys some behind the scenes, we had 3 shows. We pitched all 3 to the cast and said, here, pick one.
And we came up with a 5th one.
And we've taken that 3rd one, and it has now morphed into something a little different. I was talking to Mallow today, and I was like, we really got to come up with a new working title besides what we're using, because it just keeps confusing things. New working titles. In fact, that's what I'm calling it from now on, is new working title.
They wouldn't let us choose Horny on Main.
No.
TBD.
No.
I'd rather donate to TBD.
So that show is coming soon. We have an approximate time frame, but I'm not going to tell you yet until
Soon.
we know for sure.
I just want to call this out real quick, Alex. Caleb, I appreciate the Arrested Development joke.
Actually, I'll leave that. I think Horny on Main will get his terms and conditions. I actually think I'll leave that to the cast. Somebody's bringing up something in our behind the scene chats.
I think I'm going to speak for myself, and I'm going to leave it vague enough that other people can just kind of fly with it if they want. I'm just going to say that while Chone will not be in the next show all the time or at all, that's unknown at this point. Chone's not gone.
Oh my gosh.
Chone will reappear at some point.
Well, I guess if we're saying that Chone will reappear, we should probably mention that there's a couple of other members of the Chaos Inc. crew that will be returning.
Fine, Maxi's going to be back.
Yeah, Maxi.
We're pulling an
is a
Emperor
robot.
Palpatine. Somehow, Maxi has returned.
No. What we're going to do is basically...
Wait.
Chone's going to
It's just
carry
we're
around
dragging-
a skeleton.
No, we're dragging a projector and a big mirror into battles, and it's going to be hologram Maxi.
Yep.
Could you imagine Stitches and Chone walking around just like hobbling with Maxi's exoskeleton?
Somebody in the
and,
chat
like,
made a
pair of
Weekend at
fucking
Bernie's
sunglasses?
reference already this episode, like during this cast chat. So,
Yeah.
Oh shit, missed it.
Well, no, really, the way Maxi died, it really would be Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh.
yeah, there we go. That's our second pitch. Somehow Maxi has returned. Yes. We'll pull an Emperor Palpatine because that's what Michael looks like right now.
We're going to start calling Maxi Sheev.
No, yeah, obviously Maxi is dead, so Michael will be playing a new character. Kaylee will be playing a new character. We have, I think, the rough outlines of what those are done-ish.
I'm gonna be perfectly transparent here. Stitches is coming back into this show because I just got her character art exactly the way that I wanted her, and I cannot part with her.
This has actually been a thing for a while now, where Stitches was like, I can't die, I just got the art done right.
Yeah, Alex, so behind the curtain moment, when we kind of had a brief cast discussion about someone's gonna die at the end of season 3, the first words out of my mouth were, but I just got new art. So that truly, aside from me just loving this character, but that truly is a large reason that I want to continue playing Stitches. And I think so far during some of the conversations that we've had about the new show that will be coming soon, I think we have found a way to differentiate between the story that we developed with Chaos Inc. and the entirely new story and separate entity that entity is not the right word to use here.
You're beautiful.
I know, right? But I think we have and are actively working to build a show that includes these existing characters while still being its own separate story.
So I suppose we can let this one out of the bag too. Caleb, we don't put any more stress on Caleb. He's already got Neon Trails to stress him out. Caleb will be returning.
I was just going to leave him mysterious, but okay.
We'll be returning as Zed. Again,
there will be cooking.
there will be cooking at some point, I'm sure.
I'm going
Not
to switch to coffee.
You're switching to coffee?
Oh gosh, don't be a coffee snob.
Okay, actually, I think Zed is going to go
Barista, is that what we're
keto
talking about?
during the new show. How do you know a vegan CrossFitter came to the place? They told you.
Zed's gonna start drinking his coffee with a big old like half a stick of butter.
Protein
Yuck.
powder.
Bad.
Here's where I'm going to leave the mystery. There may be another teammate joining.
That is indeed mysterious.
That remains to be seen. Me and Mallow are having a creative meeting next week. There's so much humming. So much humming.
I hope it's a dog.
You
I hope-
guys
No.
do.
I hope-
you
No.
need a dog meat character. Note to self. Hang on, I gotta write that down.
No, okay. I will.
No, the dog will have plot armor.
Yeah, I was about to say if we bring if we
Look.
bring in any sort of pet to the crew, then
Do you,
it's not allowed to go anywhere.
you know the only way I made it through Fallout 4 was the fact that dog meat couldn't die.
Yeah, facts.
Okay.
Also same.
Okay. I also hated all the other companions, and I only wanted to run around with dog meat because he was the goodest boy. And the only way I could handle it was that dog meat can't die.
Facts are facts.
On Neon Trails, we have 2 pets in the crew, and it is wholesome. So maybe that's the key to success.
You also have a thespian.
I watched that clip earlier, and it did make.
So
me
did I. Wild's face, by the way.
Dog meat was
Anyway.
also smarter than all the other followers. That is
Are you
true.
saying there's a thespian?
Okay. I think that's where we're going to leave it. Any last thoughts? I'll open it up to the group before we sign off for the evening and tell everybody to keep their eyes on all our stuff.
Phrasing.
Look, if it made me money, start an OF tomorrow.
I'm gonna throw
Wait.
something out there that is in beta, and Mallow may kill me later for speaking of it. But one of the things that we're working on is trying to find more ways to hang out with you guys, except in the streams during showtime.
Wait, except we're gonna hang out with you everywhere, except what we're doing right now.
No,
Right.
he's
We're
not
gonna
going to kill you
stop
for that.
doing
We
this.
talked about that, so you're good. We don't know what it's going to be. He
He's
doesn't know what it's
threatened
going to be.
me. Look at his knuckles. But anyway, there's going to be some new chat channels coming on the Identico server where you can hang out with not only us, the cast of whatever show we're going to be, but I believe there's going to be some Neon Trailsers hanging out where you can talk to us about the show, ask stuff, hang out with us.
Anyone else before we sign off for the evening?
Well, it's been a great ride, and I'm very glad that this went longer than 12 episodes. I think while the story we told may have been a little bit confusing at times, I think that the payoff, the end of the story, and where we grew as characters and players and friends, definitely worth that journey. And thank you to the viewers out there that have been around with us since that first season and followed us along the way and joined us for this journey. And hopefully you'll come back for the next one, because that's going to be pretty interesting too.
Come back for the next one. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Bring your friends,
Yes.
All of them.
please.
All
Please
right.
bring your friends.
If you
I
missed
called
the
all
cast,
three of mine.
you can catch up on
Wait,
KSC.
shit, they're here already.
I was about to
Sorry,
say.
Alex, go ahead.
If y'all missed any episodes, you can catch up with those on our YouTube channel. Go subscribe to the Identical YouTube channel too. I wanted to catch up to Humanoid HQ so we can kind of merge, do some stuff. Like, again, that's part of the creative meeting. Come on, folks. I need subs. So I can stop being sad. So sad.
That was
I'm
my
good with
line.
either.
Get
good
out of
with
my
either.
head.
Big Switch energy.
Anyway, if
I'll
also
get a
if the viewers
Switch for
miss
you,
you,
sir.
where can they find
Can I
y'all
pick
on
my
the
own?
interwebs before the new show starts? We'll start with Dot. I think you've got a project that's resuming production.
Yes. So, we are for the Shadowrun nerds. We are talking about possibly resuming episode releases for RGF on Goblinization Day. So
Wait. Award-winning podcast.
Oh, really?
Oh my
Rest of us
gosh,
here?
we don't have to talk about that.
That's important to
Although I
talk
don't-
about.
I know, and I appreciate it. I get very emotional about my show because I never expected it to go that far. We're still waiting to hear about the 2023 Audioverse Awards. So for any of you out there that did vote for us, thank you. But yeah, Resting Glitch Face will be coming back for season 3 in the near future. No official release date yet, though, but just something that we're in the talks about. And beyond that, Bite Size Tales, the audio flash fiction podcast, and that's it right now, I think.
Very nice. Caleb, where can folks find you if they miss you while we're developing a new show?
You should come right back here to this channel and watch Neon Trails, because I get to be the captain of that party boat, and it's ridiculous.
Is it ridiculous, or is it wonderful, or is it both?
Both.
Both that gift.
Kaylee,
Inconceivable.
where can folks find you?
Here soon. I believe I can, Michael. I can announce this, right? We've talked about this.
Yeah.
I can't announce everything yet because the final details have not occurred. But if y'all remember a little podcast called the Redemption Podcast that ran for, what was it, 8 years? And then it had a spin-off, wildly popular spin-off that literally dozens of people have seen, called Smuggler's Blues. Well, that show is coming back. It is coming back on Tuesday. Please note the new night. Tuesday, February 20th. Stay tuned to find out where, because that may change.
Yeah, that's right, Caleb. We decided to air exactly the same day that you air your show.
What a jerk! Why are you so mean to me?
It wasn't my decision.
It wasn't my decision.
I'm sad.
There's only one other person who could make that choice, so...
It wasn't
Wow.
Chris's decision.
Nope.
I think we're confusing folks, because I'm confused. All right,
yeah,
and
that's
by the
all
way,
But anyways,
yeah.
yes, that's the other place you can find me, and occasionally over on the Rook and Rasp show doing games and such.
yes, and also, by the way, folks in the chat, there's Mallow Man just dropping links to all these places in the chat. Caleb,
Oh, that's nice of him.
I think it's Michael's turn.
is it Michael's turn? I don't know.
I can't think of a way to say that my turn is already passed without getting in trouble. So it is Michael's turn.
Michael, what do you got
thanks, guys.
going?
Thanks, Alex. Well, you can certainly find me on Smuggler's Blues. As Kaylee mentioned, we will be returning. You can hear me on an episode of Bite Sized Tales very briefly.
Releases tomorrow.
That airs tomorrow. You can also hear me in the show Tubular Teens with Titans, which is a Power Rangers-inspired audio drama. It's a lot of fun. I get to play the teen mentor, the former big villain, the former big bad guy, and now team mentor, Pan Vahan. And then you can also hear me on... Oh, sorry, that's Tubular Teens with Titans on any of your podcatchers. And then you can also see me pretty soon on Dragon Age, A Time of Masks and Daggers on the Rook and Rasp channel that will be returning sometime this spring.
Wonderful. Just making sure. Sorry, looking at background notes from our other producer who's sending me messages. All right. Did I miss anything?
Yourself.
I am everywhere. At Alex the Humanoid. I promise I'm going to get back for those that have been literally yelling at me on TikTok. I'll be back soon-ish to do more TikTok content. Why would you release any videos about the current state of the blah, blah, blah? Give me time, please. I'm so tired. I think, Mallow, correct me in the chat, I think we're going to do a Humanoid HQ. We should have a super show tomorrow, but we're discussing the future of all the shows soon. We're trying to figure it out. This is hard. Like, content creation is a rough game. Yeah.
How hard is it?
I'm so tired. You can
Stop
find me everywhere.
asking that, Michael.
At Alex the Humanoid, though. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. I'm on Threads.
Blue Sky?
Not yet.
Mastodon?
We will be there tomorrow night with Humanoid HQ. So yeah, go to youtube.com/Humanoid HQ or twitch.tv/Humanoid HQ tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern or Pacific. God bless America. I don't know what time zone I'm in anymore. It's time for me to go to bed. We love you all. Please stay tuned on all the socials. Follow us everywhere. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us here on Twitch. Thank you to everybody who gave bits and subs tonight. That's a great way to support the show. One of our goals, and I told the cast this, my goal is to get to the point where everybody's making lots of money to do the show. I want to pay people.
We don't do it for the money, though.
We don't do it for the money, but it would be nice.
We would.
We would do it for a salary if we could.
If we could.
If we could. There you go. So yeah, thank you everybody who supported and stayed and hung out in the chat. We will see you very, very soon with our new show. Bye.
You're not what you appear to be. They don't know you like I do. No one knows but me.
Chaos Incorporated is Kaylee as Chone, Michael as Maxi, Dot as Stitches, Caleb as Zed, and Alex is your game runner. You can learn more about the game we play on this podcast by going to www.playidentico.com. You can join us live for these sessions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific over on twitch.tv/Identico. And you can watch along with past episodes and see additional content like how to play videos over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Identico. And finally, you can follow along with us on the socials at Identico on Twitter and at Humanoid Games on Threads and Instagram. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next week.